Hello everyone, it is Jen here from Infinite You. Welcome, thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who are new to my page, my name is Jen Wood. I'm an empowerment coach and energy healer, and I work with women who are struggling with their self-confidence and self-worth, trying to balance so many roles for so many people, and are drowning, suffering in silence, and really just becoming their own inner bully. I work with women to transform that negative inner voice from critical to confident and allow them to really step into their power, into their greatness, and more of who they truly be. So thank you so much for joining. Whether you're here live or in the replay, please say hello. I do always like to connect with everyone, and I'm so grateful for everyone who joins in and watches. So today's topic, kind of a last minute impromptu live session, but something that kind of popped for me today that I really wanted to come in and share with you. And basically what it is who were you before you got squashed? So many of my clients come to me drowning, feeling like they're drowning, and they don't know how to keep their head above water. They're suffering in silence. They're hiding behind this mask, behind this happy face that tries to make the outside world believe that they've got it all together when they feel like they're actually dying inside. So many of my clients talk to me about finding and reconnecting who they know they really are, finding that inner strength, that inner being that they know exists, but is just weighted down by all the heaviness of the society. And I started thinking about my own experiences, and as I went past and started looking back on my childhood and different experiences of who we were when we were children, when there was no worries, when life was just great and we could just play and have fun, and everything just felt joyful. We didn't have stress of bills and kids and spouses and work and all of that stuff, and life was just kind of ease, total ease. So I started thinking about when I lost that part of myself. What happened to me where I stopped functioning from that place of just exuberant joy and started to feel held back, started to feel embarrassed, where I stopped being a leader and I started following the crowd. And it's a story that I've told my son many times before as a way to empower him to never be afraid to speak his truth. And I'm going to try to keep this quick, but basically, I think I was in grade 3 and we were in a math class learning about perimeter and estimation. And everybody had to estimate the perimeter of the schoolyard and give their best guess. So I sat and I started thinking and visualizing the playground in my head. And I visualized myself with a meter stick going meter by meter by meter by meter all around the entire perimeter of the school, so I could get the most accurate response, because I wanted to win and I wanted to be right and I wanted to be smart. So I went through that whole vision. I visualized myself walking through the entire perimeter, and I raised my hand so proudly, the first one to make a good estimation. And the teacher called on me first, and so proudly, I was like 37 meters, like so confidently. And everybody laughed. Everybody laughed. And I remember feeling so small and insignificant, because I think the actual perimeter was like 400 and something meters. So my guess of 37 was so inaccurate and obviously like quite humorous to everyone around, because I was so way off base. But it was at that point that I stopped raising my hand, that I stopped confidently speaking in front of other people in fear that they might laugh at me. It was at that point I just started following the crowd, still trying to be myself as long as I knew that I could fit into the box that was out there. And that was a huge awareness for me, because so much of my life I had spent being a follower, because at that point I was afraid to be a leader. And this is what people come to me about, and what they bring to me, and it only gets worse from there. Because then as you go on through life, you go into high school, and you don't want them to laugh at you, so you kind of do what they're doing, even though you might think it's wrong, but you want to fit in, and you don't want to stand out, and you don't want people pointing and laughing. And then you carry on, and you're trying to, go pick your career and do the best career that you can choose with what people think is sufficient and adequate based on your academic level, or what society says, or where the hirings are in the job force. And then you go and you get married and you have a baby, and you are just so committed. You're going to be the best friggin' wife, the best mother. You are going to do all of that because you just want so badly to make everyone happy. You don't want to stand out. You want to keep the peace. You want to make my Wi-Fi has been frozen, so we keep going. We keep trying to be the best student, the best wife, the best mother, the best employee, the best everything. Meanwhile, we're not being the best version of us. We are being the best of what we think we should be, so that we don't stand out, so that we can fit in, and so that we can just keep the peace and make everything work. One of the greatest gifts I have ever received was having my entire life completely fall apart. The walls came crashing down around me. My whole fucking life fell apart. Everything I was working on, working towards, meant nothing. Until I realized that none of that was me being me. Every single part of me was trying to fit a role. I was focused on being the best wife. I was so focused on being the best mother. I was so focused on being independent and working hard and doing everything I thought I should be, all while stifling who I really was. And when my whole world came crashing down on me, it was an amazing awareness for me to rebuild my life in a way that fills me, not anybody else. A way of me stepping into who I am, to be willing to be pointed at and laughed and ostracized and not fit in, because that is who I am. And it might not be for everybody. And you want to know what? Once I stepped into me, I became a great wife, and I became an amazing mother, and I became a hard worker, and I became everything that I was trying so hard to be, as if by magic, because I was finally starting to be me. Because when we are true to ourselves, when we are authentic to what lights us up and to what fills us, all those other pieces of the puzzle fall into place, literally as if by magic. So, thank you so much for listening. I hope that was insightful and inspired you to really step into you. Once we get out of trying to be something to someone, and you start being everything to yourself, people start to flock to you, and they start to notice the change in you and the confidence you have and the way that you present yourself and carry yourself and the way that you be in the world. And all of the other stuff just magically falls into place. Thank you so much for joining. I have now opened my registration for my next Kickstart Your Confidence program. If you are ready to step into you, if you are ready to start working on the inside so that all that outside stuff can fall into place as if by magic, please send me a message for the information. The program will be starting late February, and I would be so grateful to have you there. Thank you so much. Have a great night.